Let's go into the Wild West, though. ATP Dallas. Some very, very surprising results here. I thought we're going to see Taylor, Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton all make deep runs here. Tommy Paul has come through. He's currently, as we're recording this, battling Opelka. But,
My dark horse to win the whole thing, Opelka.
Yeah, I love that pick. He's playing unbelievable tennis and serving great. But out of
2
nowhere...
out of 3, baby.
Exactly. Shines in that format. But out of nowhere, Denis Shapovalov just beats similar in age Taylor Fritz. I guess they would be peers. They've grown up playing each other a lot. There's a lot of familiarity. But, I mean, what a result for Denis to give him a lot of confidence continuing this year after a pretty disappointing. We said I called him a loser at the AO, but, I mean, I'm very excited for his match tonight with Mahach.
Mahach, one of my winners.
Yeah,
from the AO.
He can ball, man. He can really ball.
Real opportunity for both of those guys. Shapo, I don't know. I feel like I've been saying this about him, that he really has the kind of game that it doesn't matter if he's playing against Kuzmanovic or Taylor Fritz. You know, it's kind of in his hands. And he showed it this tournament. He took out Kuzmanovic, and there's so many levels between where Kuzmanovic is right now and where Taylor Fritz is right now. And still didn't matter for Shapo. I mean, it was looking bleak in that first set. It was like, okay, this is going to be one-way traffic. And, you know, tennis, specifically the men's game, a few points can really swing the whole match. And I think toward the middle of that second set, Shapo came up with the goods when he needed it, when, you know, in the last few years at those crucial junctures, he always, you know, would double fault or just have a bad error and then start deflecting, and his mentality would just be lost. But he really delivered against Fritz, and Mahach, an interesting test for Shapo here. I think he's just so steady, you know, really strong backhand. You know,
strong on return.
Strong on return. I don't think that Mahach's forehand is like his biggest weapon. I think his biggest weapon is his movement, and, you know, he's a little bit more of a like finesse player as opposed to a power player. So, you know, interesting matchup against Shapo. He's not gonna, you know, I don't think he's gonna beat Shapo for pace, but he might just be able to put that extra ball in play, and just, you know, Shapo might be searching for answers in that match. Definitely pulling for Shapo, but I think Mahach, and this is probably happening right now.
No, Tommy Paul just won the first set, so they play after him. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to get this out before it comes out. So maybe people can see look back at this. 7-6, yeah, he won a tiebreaker.
So Opelka just needs that one break in the second set. He's gonna win it 6-4.
Yeah.
Come on, Riley. Let's go. Now's your chance.
I hope Tommy comes.
Probably TP. Yeah, probably TP. And so the winner of that plays the winner of Shapo, and
that's the semifinals. We don't know the outcome yet. But on the other side of the draw, I mean, who could have saw Munar playing Casper Ruud in the semifinals? Like, what? Munar, he played incredibly impressive, I thought, against Shelton to beat him. He held with him on serve, and Ben was like surprisingly not as dominant on serve as I thought he was going to be in these indoor conditions. But Munar, he played some good tennis, and then he followed that up against Arnaldi, winning in 3 sets, which Arnaldi's a tough out for anyone, coming off a big win against Fokina, he looked really dominant. I think he was the favorite going into that. But Munar, I mean, he's a veteran at this point. He's been around the game. Yes, he is erratic at times. He probably doesn't compete with the very, very elite. But on a hard court, do you think he's got a chance against Casper? Because I kind of do.
Hey, two guys that clay is their best surface. Did Ruud play Nishioka? And he
Yeah,
like
and
beat.
then
I was gonna say that matchup really favors Ruud with all the RPMs on both groundies. Tough for Nishioka to just always can't take everything on the rise and early, so Ruud's gonna
yeah,
push him back there. So
Yoshi also retired in the second set, so not
yeah.
sure if
Hey,
there was some
that win over Tiafo.
Tiafo. Yeah,
Yeah, he earned it. Great tournament for Nishioka. Um, Good for him there. Munar against Shelton, though. I just want to say, Munar being the veteran really showed that that can be helpful. Especially against the Shelton, that he can implode and beat himself. Munar played super tactically sound match. Did not have uh, harder forehand or harder backhand or bigger serve. Like, I'm sure, if you look at the stats, it doesn't reflect what you were seeing with the match, because Munar played the bigger points better, and he had, whatever game plan, if there's plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever he was doing was effective when it mattered most. And Shelton, had his fair share of impressive points and showed how he's grown, but still some areas of growth for Shelton to kind of avoid being, not to throw Tsitsipas under the bus here, but it just seems like where Tsitsipas has been lacking is in the in between the lines of like what's the difference between winning and losing this match. Like in Tsitsipas, those crucial points, he just doesn't play them as like intelligently as his opponent does sometimes, and Shelton falls victim to that as well. So, you know, good. Shelton's just learning from every match he's playing here. Thought he would have a good chance to make the semis of Dallas at
yeah,
least. So bummer for him, but he's gonna learn from this. Um, Munar Ruud, I'm gonna go Ruud. I know you hate him on hard courts. I have always, anytime I see Munar's name on hard courts, I'm like the other guy, but it's proven me wrong. I'm not gonna diss you anymore, Jao me.
yeah. I think Casper definitely has the edge here. I just think Munar. The lines haven't come out for the match yet, but I think we could see like a close 2 or 3 sets because I don't think Munar is going to be afraid of Casper, and Casper sometimes is feels the weight of the moment too. And I don't think it's gonna be some grueling rallies, a lot of extended ones that can go 50-50 if Munar plays it tactically well. But I mean, what scheduling by Casper Ruud to join Dallas when if he would not probably make it out of the first or second round of Rotterdam? Now he's in a semifinal of a 500 and going to be the favorite to make the final. I mean, that's why this guy's going to be he's top 5 right now. I mean, he's going to be pushing Fritz for that 4 spot, which would be crazy if he gets hot into the clay season and finds himself as maybe a rightful owner as his own quarter on Roland Garros.
Mm.
But in these Dallas conditions, whoever he plays in the final, I think probably has a slight edge, especially if it's Tommy or Riley. Looking like it might be Tommy coming up. They're still on serve in the second set, but
I'd be
yeah,
very interested to see Rude versus Paul, if how that would look in the finals, because I don't think either guy would blow the other guy off the court. I think that could be a very close one, or whoever brings their A game that day. But that's a pick 'em for me. Rude Paul. I'm sure you would lean Paul. He maybe has a little bit more momentum since Rude had that relatively early exit at the AO. But I think that is just an absolute pick 'em if it's Rude and Paul in the finals. Wouldn't bet on that. Unless you're really patriotic and you want to bet for
yeah,
Paul to win in America, then go for it. Go with your
yeah,
heart.
exactly. If you just blindly bet the Americans, even though that has done awful this tournament, but
I like Michael Moe to upset Casper Ruud. That's something you'd be like, I think Moe makes this close. You like American flag. You're like, I'm
I
taking the
mean,
over.
unless it's Marcus Giron,
Mm.
he's the only one with a clear actual
That
edge
was
in
the biggest
America.
bummer of the
Such a
Dallas
bummer.
Yeah.
That could have been the difference between Casper going out in the first round and then making a potential final here, you know? Like
Yeah,
seriously,
Garon
he
had a
could have
real
lost
chance.
it. He could have lost to Garone for sure. But yeah, so those are our semifinal predictions. We could reconvene tomorrow for our finals once we know the matchups. But yeah, this has been some wild.
GMP.
Yeah,
GMP winning it all, baby. Served by Sims.
yeah, that was a bummer. He withdrew. I can't believe
Yeah.
that. That was every time we like go off about our player that's saying they're gonna make a big run, they like lose the next round. So we got to watch out for that like double fault curse if that's a thing. Once we
Yeah.
start looking
Next.
too far ahead, it's like, ugh. But yeah, man, some great tennis so far. I'm looking forward to these semis and finals. And
Let's go.
this is like a warm up for the Sunshine Double coming in March because that when all the top players are in the same draw, that's when the chaos and the absolute best tennis is on the court and the
Can't
most is
wait.
on the line. So
Hmm.
good stuff. And let's go enjoy the rest of Dallas tonight.
Hell yeah.
Keep double
Peace out.
faulting.